Welcome everyone to Ring the Belle. This is Diaz.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And Paloma, you brought your fiance.
Yay, Mr. Sriracha Muchacho. Just kidding.
I don't like sriracha.
He doesn't.
I heard you guys had an intervention about that.
He's like, you changed the food of
Color change.
Yeah, you changed the color of
Put so
food.
much sriracha in that there's rice. It's red.
Everything you eat's just red.
Yeah.
And delicious.
But you're healthy.
I am.
Let's just dive into this week's news and rumor. WWE Super Showdown that's happening this week.
Yeah,
Okay.
on Thursday.
First ever Women's Championship match in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And it's Bayley versus Naomi. What do you think?
I'm super excited about it.
I think it's awesome that there's actually going to be a women's title being defended in Saudi Arabia.
I'm also really excited about Naomi's entrance here.
Oh, yeah.
They're all gonna be covered up.
Yeah, but her entrance is still going
Like
to
Can
be
they do that?
She's gonna be covered up in neon.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe her long sleeves will be like super different color, bright colors.
I hope she does that. It'd be cool to look at that and that stage, but I don't think.
I think Naomi has everything the Saudi Arabians would love. Crazy movesets. That's just like, it doesn't even matter about culture. It's just really impressive.
Yeah.
But also like
flashy.
visually so interesting.
Fan wise, you guys are 100%. I just think
Yeah.
the power of the people that are higher up
Yeah.
don't have that same outlook.
I'm actually interested to see what's going to happen in WrestleMania. If it's still going to be Naomi versus Bayley or...
It wouldn't surprise me if Naomi won the title over there.
Let's move to the next news.
Yes.
WrestleMania currently is rumored to have 6 women's matches. 6 women's matches.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome.
But also, it just reminds me of how long WrestleMania is.
I was about to say that too. If you can have just 6 women's matches, a normal wrestling card is 9 to 10 matches.
Yeah.
So 6, that's gonna be 20 matches on that
Yeah.
damn show.
Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT
Yep.
Women's Championship is
Yep.
the only match officially confirmed. What's rumored right now is Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Championship.
So stupid.
Naomi versus Bayley for the SmackDown Championship. Of course, the Women's WrestleMania Battle Royale, the 3rd year in a row. Kabuki Warriors is supposed to defend their Tag Team Championship against someone. And then there's one more match to make it
it's gonna be.
6 matches. So I don't know. This seems like a lot of matches.
It is a lot of matches. Which is awesome. But then again, like I said, I just keep on remembering how long WrestleMania is.
Who do you think Kabuki Warriors will go against?
I'm going to say a repackaged Iconics.
I
Throw
think
together.
Divas of Doom.
Oh, I didn't even think
That'll
of
be a
that.
good
Yeah.
one.
I think that'll be a good one. And then what would be the last match? I can't even think of anything.
I really don't know.
I honestly feel like they kind of misunderstand it with WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, because TakeOver is going to have a couple women's matches
Right.
too.
And it's probably, more than likely, one of these is probably going to end up in the pre-show.
Okay, guess who has another return rumor? It's Trish Stratus. So Trish Stratus just released a teaser video celebrating the 20th anniversary of her WWE debut. And at the end of the video flashes the image of Trish and Sasha's face-off at Royal Rumble, the first ever Royal Rumble. Now, Trish is officially retired at SummerSlam against a match with Charlotte Flair, but can this be a tease for another return match? Potentially, this could be that 6th match in WrestleMania. Also, this could be the reason that Sasha keep thanking Vince on Twitter over and over again. Or more likely explanation could be some kind of cute collaboration between the boss and Trish Stratus for her big anniversary on TrishStratus.com. So we shall see what cool things will pop up from this.
Speaking of WrestleMania, right now a lot of the questions about who's going to get the call up after WrestleMania. Because that was like tradition
Yeah.
for Raw after WrestleMania. But apparently, the WWE is going to basically lessen those call up after WrestleMania. Because there's no point of call ups anymore.
Nope.
Especially when NXT is now considered a third brand as opposed to even almost developmental, you know? And I feel like even a lot of other superstars want to stay in NXT, you know? I mean, how sweet it is. Like, you don't really travel too much. You're put on a great, hell of a show, great matches. I actually think NXT is probably the best wrestling show on TV right now.
Ooh,
I know.
shots fired.
Controversy.
Shots
Ooh.
fired. Hot take from the
We're
hot
not reviewing
sriracha.
NXT.
I know, jeez.
Well, Finn Balor is having a great time down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Killer Kross was recently signed by WWE. Whose boyfriend is that?
Scarlett.
The Smoke Show. She's from Chicago too.
She is. I actually have never met her, even though she's from here. But I know when she was working like the indie scene, she was mainly using AEW. And once you wrestle in AEW in Chicago, most of the time you don't wrestle in a lot of other places. I'm excited for Scarlett though, because I think she's been there for a while. And usually we've seen people get signed and then like here recently, it's been pretty fast that they're on TV. But I also hope that she doesn't just get stuck in a managerial role, because she's one of those that has the really good combination of sex appeal and can actually wrestle. So
Does she not do anything on their house shows?
I'm not too
yet.
sure.
I don't think she's done anything yet. Only thing she did when Becky or Bailey went through the division.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She was just like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, that was it. Let's talk about the biggest news. The Bella Twins are the Hall of Famers.
Where's your belly?
Where's your okay. Let's talk about this. On SmackDown, the Bella Twins were announced to be on the Moment of Bliss. I mean, it was pretty obvious.
Very obvious.
And then
It's not like they're gonna announce they're gonna have a match.
yeah, Alexa basically was like, "Welcome the Hall of Famer."
Yeah.
Bella Twins. And we're like, "Oh, okay." Like it just happened. So they're officially the Hall of Famer for class of 2020.
To me, the Bellas are the Kardashians of the WWE. They are only famous because of their TV show. So there is a space in the Hall of Fame for the Bellas, and it's the celebrity wing.
So you think they're going in because it's the celebrity wing?
Since there's no really real criteria or requirements to be in the Hall of Fame, for me,
There's none.
it's all arbitrary. Because it's not like you have to meet this, check. Do this, check. Be retired for X amount of years, check. No, there's no criteria whatsoever, which is, I can see why people are pissed off about it, and I can see why people are happy about it. There's so many other people who technically should be, but whenever you can't really argue that when there's no rules or regulations to get into this Hall of Fame.
There is so many other people that need to be in there. Not deserve, need to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
And China, gonna be at the top of the list until
Like
she's
as
in
a
there
single, as a-
until
Yeah,
she's
her
in there
own.
individually. Not sugarcoat it because you want to put her with DX because you just want to shut him up.
I think it's too soon for them to go in there. I know they deserve it. They actually killed it. But I mean, it's too soon because they're skipping women like Molly Holly and Victoria, who it's been so long after they retire.
Show me a good Bella match and I'll show you 18,000 better matches.
From
than
China?
those. No, in general.
I think there are a lot of girls that should have gone before them, like Molly Holly for me especially, because she was a good technician, she was a worker.
Here's the thing. I think Bella Twins are very unique cases in WWE in the sense that they are the WWE wrestlers that branched out and really found success outside of WWE, which is really rare for WWE stars.
It's subjective.
Well,
Wrestler is subjective.
They are also one of the few people that came back to wrestling even after the fame that they found outside of wrestling.
Because that's the only reason they got the fame is because they got lucky enough to be in the WWE. They are a part of WWE. Yes, I get that. They are part of WWE history. They have not put in the tenure of half the people that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Hi, it's me, Queen PR, one half of those wrestling girls, and I couldn't be more proud of the Bella Twins. I think they absolutely deserve to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. They had strong characters. They grew as wrestlers. We saw them evolve and bridge the gap between the Divas era and the Divas Revolution and even to the Women's Evolution.
Nikki was the longest reigning Divas champion, and Brie had one of the best feuds with Stephanie McMahon.
I disagree that they didn't bust their asses for wrestling industry. Nikki
For the wrestling industry?
Nikki also broke her spine during wrestling, and then she injured and she got out in surgery.
Okay.
And then she came back for another.
Yeah, so is everybody else that's wrestled, not in the Hall of Fame. Brie broke her back.
Nikki.
Either way, they're twins.
You don't even know which one's which. Bella Twins, with the reality show, the popularity that it gained, it broadened the entire audience of the people that's interested in women's wrestling, which eventually brought in the women's revolution because of the people that got interested in women's wrestling.
And I understand that. But in a trendy society, anybody can do that.
I don't see anyone else doing it. Who did that?
They don't have to. I understand why they're going in. Do I like it? No. It's a business. My opinion is there's way more people that deserve to be in it besides them. And you're going to tell me you're in a wrestling Hall of Fame because of your entertainment show.
Basically, you're saying the only reason why they're in the Hall of Fame so early is because of Total Bellas / Total Divas as opposed to their work in the ring.
You might as well just put Ronda in it next year. That's who they brought eyes. They're the celebrities that came in and brought the eyes. The right place, right time. I grew up watching Sensational Sherry, Miss Elizabeth, all those,
Luna.
Alondra Blaze, Luna, the wrestlers.
Who in the women's division do you think had that kind of in-ring prowess, is that what you're trying to say? That deserve to be in wrestling in the Hall of Fame.
Outside of China?
Victoria, Jazz, Molly Holly.
Is Jazz not in the Legacy one?
No.
Jazz is not. Anyone in the Diva era, you think?
Well, Natty.
Okay.
Honestly, the people are just mad because they got in before their favorites did. I'm not even Bella Army, but respect them.
And I guess like the haters, or quote haters, I guess are saying, like, they don't deserve it, like there's other girls who deserve it. Agree, but everyone has their time. And right now it's the Bella Twins' time because they're both pregnant at the same time. Like, that's crazy.
They definitely improved a lot. I remember when they first started wrestling, I was like, oh gosh, pobrecitas, they don't know what's going on. But I think they definitely improved quite a bit. And I actually like that each of them had their own little character, their own personality, because I really thought they were just going to be the twins and do twin magic all the time. So I did appreciate like their own character, and they did improve a lot. They're not the best in the ring, quite honestly. But I do appreciate that they actually tried to get better and tried to convey that they were taking this seriously.
When I really liked Nikki Bella was when she came back into the new SmackDown era with the new NXT girls, and then she actually hung in there with a lot of the girls, and then she had some entertaining matches with Natalia, Falls Count Anywhere match, and even the Evolution Ronda Rousey match was not a horrible match.
No, it surprised me.
Yeah, so I think she really grew.
They weren't good wrestlers in that time in 2008, 2009, but they improved a lot. Nikki and Brie got better in the ring. And you can see that in 2014, 2015, and even in Nikki's latest run that was in 2016 solo run on SmackDown Live.
I'm not gonna shit on their current stuff. They hung with the people they needed to, especially with the Ronda and Nikki, because Nikki was the vet in the match, and Ronda's Ronda, but not wrestling Ronda.
And quite honestly, I'm not saying that every single woman or even every single person in the roster has to be a technical wizard and can do a whole bunch of awesome moves. There's a room for everybody, every different type of styles. I do think that the Bellas have improved quite a bit and like have a place for wrestling.
So do you think ultimately Bellas were beneficial to wrestling for the women's division? What do you think about that?
I think wrestling was beneficial for the Bellas. I mean, it almost kind of coincided with each other. I think the Bellas ended up appreciating wrestling towards the end.
I do think that they brought, I don't want to say value, but a different aspect to wrestling that I think was missing, because for the longest time, the demo of wrestling was 18 to 35-year-old males. Yeah. And because of the Bellas, and which is weird but to even say that, but because of the Bellas, I think that the female fan presence actually increased because of
like
that.
A lot, yeah. Stephanie McMahon said it's almost up to like 30, more than 30%.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe they're just super business savvy and they knew what they were doing all along, and they knew like, hey, we have this reality show, we'll bring in those women and those like reality show fans to wrestling. For a lot of people, they were the face of women's wrestling. That's what they know. So while they might not be everybody's cup of tea, I do think that they contributed quite a bit to women's wrestling. I don't want to say if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be talking about women's wrestling now. Totally. But I think they were definitely a piece of the puzzle.
The moment when I kind of felt the Bellas influence the most was when I was at Evolution. I'm a Trish fan. I grew up like watching Trish, Victoria, Lita, Jazz, that era. But when I walked in there, half of the arena was Bella Twins merch, the Bella Army. And it was just like, okay, like they obviously have like huge influence for people who now loves WWE and pro wrestling now. So that was something that was like a little eye-opening for me.
You guys have done so much for my life with the inspiring that y'all do. You guys deserve this.
For me is when I used to work in an office job and people who had no idea about wrestling would come up to me and ask me oh my gosh, I started watching Total Bellas. Oh my gosh, I started watching Total Divas. And they would come up to me and ask me about wrestling, even though they were not wrestling fans at all, but because of the show. So that's when I realized the really bigger picture of things, when people who were not interested at all were actually interested in and be like, oh, did you see that? Or like, what's up with this? Like just the questions that I would get because I would watch that show. Say something nice about the Bella Twins.
Congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction. And also at the end of the day, it's polarizing. That's what you want to be talking about.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. Negative or positive. That's all we do it for. I mean, we do it for the fame and stuff like that. But hey, talk about me. That's all that matters. Go in the comments and shit on me.
Who is Cody Jones?
That came out bad. Don't shit on me.
People are like talking this passionately about it is how much people value the WWE Hall of Fame. People genuinely really think of it as like the pedestal.
Yeah, and it is, and it should be. But I think going back to what Paloma said, like it's just kind of there's no criteria to get into.
So you can't really get mad.
Like Batista had his last match last year, and now he's in the Hall of Fame. Baseball, you have to wait like a year or so.
Oh, there's a criteria.
Yeah,
you have to
get voted in.
What do you think of Jushin going in there?
That's random. That's random.
So random.
It goes back to that. It goes back, no, he had one NXT match. Not even WWE. No, he had one NXT takeover match with Tyler Breeze. He's in the Hall of Fame.
You think they try to like balance things out, like Bella Twins, and we'll give you Jushin? Like I don't know, like
well, because Jushin retired, and it was just a big deal, so they want that publicity, I guess. But it's so random.
So who do we think will induct Bella Twins?
John Laurinaitis, their stepdaddy.
If they're gonna really make a thing out of this, Ronda Rousey will probably come to induct them.
Why not? If they really want to have eyes on them.
But who would?
Who would?
Like Natty would be a good choice, I feel like. Yeah. Maybe Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, that would be
one.
Yeah, the dude from Dancing with the Stars.
Artem?
Sure.
Yeah. We also asked you guys what you think about Bella Twins' induction, and thank you for all your submissions. Alright, this was a heated.
Yes.
Spicy like sriracha.
Oh, wait, you should take a shot.
I should.
Feel free to at me. At who is Cody Jones, I will take all the smoke and I will give it back.
They will slide through your DM.
On Twitter, Instagram.
What about you, Paloma?
At Paloma Star on Twitter and Instagram. Where can we find you, DS?
You can find me at DS Shin and Ring the Belle DS on Twitter. Next week, tune in to Ring the Belle. There will be big news. Big news dropping.
Is.
Yeah. Any big matches coming up soon?
March 7th, Lima, Ohio, War Wrestling.
February 29th, I will be at Southland Championship Wrestling in Chebanese, Illinois. Cody will be there too.
Well.
Also, March 7th, I'll be at War Wrestling. Moxie Molly.
Oh my God.
And also March 8th, Gali Lucha Libre here in Chicago. Cody.
Yeah, some Drago.
It'll be a special programming for you next week. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye.